Have you ever thought about what is actually happening every single time you swallow? Most people never do, yet right now, your body is producing up to 1.5 liters of one of the most powerful natural anti-aging substances on the planet. Scientists have known about it for decades. Traditional medicine described it centuries ago, and yet almost no one is taking advantage of it deliberately. That substance is your own saliva and the secret weapon hidden inside. It is a little-known hormone called parotin. Parotin is secreted by the parotid glands, the largest of the 3 paired salivary glands, located just in front of and below each ear. Most people know the parotid gland only because it swells painfully during mumps. But this gland does far more than that. Research has confirmed that parotin, the hormone produced here, promotes the calcification of bones and teeth, stimulates the growth of cartilage, prevents muscle atrophy, lowers blood sugar through an insulin-like mechanism, and helps maintain the elasticity of blood vessel walls. In animal studies, when the parotid gland was surgically removed, subjects showed measurably weaker bones, slowed growth, and reduced cartilage regeneration. When parotin was reintroduced, bone and cartilage recovery accelerated and blood calcium levels stabilized. These are not minor effects. These are the hallmarks of healthy aging. Saliva also carries several other extraordinary compounds working alongside parotin. The first is EGF, or epidermal growth factor, whose discovery earned a Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1986. EGF in saliva protects the lining of the esophagus and stomach, accelerates the healing of oral wounds, and supports collagen synthesis in skin cells. Body levels of EGF decline steadily from your 20s onward, which means that deliberately swallowing your saliva becomes a free, zero side effect daily delivery of this regenerative molecule directly into your digestive tract. The second is NGF, nerve growth factor, which protects and regenerates neurons in the brain and peripheral nervous system. Multiple lines of research have linked declining NGF levels to the cognitive deterioration seen in aging. The third key compound is lysozyme, a natural antibiotic that destroys bacterial cell walls and serves as one of the immune system's first lines of defense at every entry point of the body. The problem is that parotin production falls sharply with age. Studies on salivary gland function show that output begins declining in the 30s, and by the 60s, has dropped to less than half of youthful levels. Epidemiological data estimate that between 12 and 47% of people over 65 experience dry mouth, a condition that goes far beyond mere discomfort. A dry mouth signals reduced parotin, reduced EGF, reduced immune defense, and reduced digestive efficiency. All at once. Research has shown that elderly individuals with dry mouth face approximately 9 times the risk of aspiration pneumonia compared to those with normal saliva flow. The stakes are far higher than most people realize. So how do you actually raise your parotin output? The answer is deceptively simple and completely free. The first method is conscious saliva swallowing. The Donjabogam, the classical Korean medical encyclopedia, compiled in the 17th century, described rotating the tongue inside the mouth to gather saliva, and then swallowing it in 3 slow portions, as a practice for preserving vitality. Modern health practitioners have adapted this into a daily target of at least 10 deliberate swallows. To do this properly, use the tip and sides of the tongue to gently massage the roof of the mouth, the inner cheeks, and the gum line. This physical stimulation causes saliva to pool rapidly. Hold it briefly, then swallow slowly. Each repetition stimulates the parotid gland and signals it to produce more. 10 times a day takes less than 5 minutes total. It costs nothing. There are no side effects. The second method is thorough chewing. Research has shown that doubling chewing frequency meaningfully increases salivary volume and parotid gland activity. The traditional target is 30 chews per mouthful. Foods with natural resistance such as raw carrots, celery, nuts, and fibrous vegetables provide prolonged parotid stimulation with each meal. The third method is parotid gland massage, placing 3 fingers on the fleshy area, just below and in front of each ear, and moving them in gentle circles for 1 minute. done 4 times a day, has been shown in clinical programs to reduce dry mouth and increase saliva output. The submandibular glands under the chin can be stimulated the same way for additional benefit, since these two gland pairs together are responsible for over 80% of total saliva production. Here is a simple 7-day plan to build these habits into daily life. On days 1 and 2, begin your morning with the tongue rotation practice immediately after waking. Rotate the tongue 30 times across the inner surfaces of the mouth. Collect the saliva and swallow in 3 portions. Also observe your eating speed and notice how little you normally chew. On days 3 and 4, commit to 30 chews per mouthful at every meal. Include at least 1 crunchy raw vegetable per day. On days 5 and 6, add morning and evening parotid massage for 1 minute on each side. On day 7, evaluate your progress. Notice whether your mouth feels less dry, whether digestion feels more comfortable after meals, and whether the practices now feel more natural. Set phone reminders or link these habits to existing routines, like brushing teeth, to make them permanent. Certain foods also support saliva production. Sour foods like a small amount of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar strongly stimulate the salivary glands. Rinse with water afterward to protect tooth enamel. Sugar-free xylitol gum, chewed for 10 to 20 minutes after meals, can increase saliva production by up to 3 times, while simultaneously reducing cavity risk. Adequate water intake, at least 8 glasses per day, keeps saliva at the right consistency for all its functions. 2 important cautions. First, this information does not replace medical care. If dry mouth is severe, persistent, or accompanied by swelling or pain near the ears or under the jaw, please see a doctor. Salivary gland stones and infections require professional treatment. Second, many common medications including antihistamines, antidepressants, diuretics, and blood pressure drugs list dry mouth as a side effect. If you are taking any of these, discuss saliva support strategies with your prescribing physician, rather than relying solely on the techniques described here. The mouth you have right now contains a free anti-aging pharmacy that most people have never been taught to use. Swallow deliberately, chew thoroughly, massage your parotid glands, and drink enough water. 10 conscious swallows a day. That is the full investment. Try it for 7 days and feel the difference. If this video gave you something genuinely useful, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs it. Leave a comment below telling us how your 7 days went. More science-backed health discoveries are waiting for you in the next video. Take care of yourself today.